Hello, beautiful people. Well, I can't promise that today is going to be a long one, but at the very least, I wanted to pop in and say hi. So I thought, oh, I'll come say hi, do a card pull, and just see if anybody's on today. And so let's see what we're going to talk about today. I keep mine in, I have a velvet bag, but they actually come in one of my little organza ones. So let's see. This one. All right. So the card that we pulled, which is, I talked last week a little bit about how sometimes they are a variation of the original piece of artwork. And so this is a variation of the Double Authority art piece. And this is the No Hindrances card. And the No Hindrances card says, there will always be stumbling blocks along your path. So refuse to be waylaid by hindrances in your way. And even should you trip, trust that the setback has purpose too. For often divine interruptions are protection from greater calamity ahead. So trust each step, whether steadying or stumbling, as a vital part of your, whether steady or stumbling is a vital part of your journey. So yeah, that's a fun one. That is a fun one. So what's getting highlighted to me as I share this, and by the way, welcome, I see that several people have joined. So what's getting highlighted to me is I'm remembering a testimony from one of my nephews who, as he was tootling along on the highway one day, all of a sudden, his trunk flew open. And I mean, he was very inconvenienced because he was in the middle of getting somewhere and he was running a little bit late. And so he was just so frustrated by it. And so he pulls over to shut his trunk and he gets back in and he gets back on the highway again. And in that few moments that took to do it, he managed to miss a 9-car pileup that happened right in front of where he was, that the cars that had been around him before he had stopped to close his trunk, that they were involved in. And so he was very protected in that instance. And so it was one of those things where it was just a beautiful reminder at, how we view things. Because in that moment, he could have been, just incredibly angry at the fact that his trunk is flying open and, and just like, I'm running late and but instead, what it was just a divine protection. And so just remembering, like, we don't always, although that testimony is a beautiful one, we don't always get to know what the thing is that we have been protected from and what that, slight interruption to our day may have saved us from. But it's just always a really good reminder because we can stay in that place of quiet knowing that our steps are divinely directed, whether we get it in the moment or not. And so if I'm driving along and there's construction, I have to go a different way, like I can choose what story I'm telling myself about that. I can choose to be frustrated about that, or I can just choose that this is just part of the path that I am supposed to be going in this moment. And so anyway, hopefully that's an encouragement to somebody today. I know that has been, a game changer for me personally as I've tried to implement that. Not that I can do that perfectly, because I know that we all have days where our emotions are running high and tend to override. But anyway, that's really fun. That's a fun one. I had forgotten about that story. One of the things that's been kind of interesting, I was sharing with somebody this week, because it's taken me a couple of years to start doing regular live streams, even though I've kept them relatively short so far. And one of the things that I found is the lack of planning for what I'm going to talk about has been one of the things that's actually made it a little bit easier, is because there's no pressure. It's just whatever God happens to want to talk about today. So remembering that we, as we are yielded to Papa, that we are operating in the divine flow. So our seeming interruptions are just part of that path that he has for us, and just trusting that. So anyway, hopefully that's a blessing to someone today. I'm literally not going to stay on here long. I am, for those of you who don't know, I have 3 D4Yart decks, so Dyed4you Art decks. I've been working through all of my art pieces. I have enough to do like a total of 6 decks so far, and creating more all the time. Each deck has 47 cards in it, unique cards in it. Both the art that's on the front and the message that's on the back is unique. I wanted to do that so that for people who want to collect all of them. For those of you who've missed the previous ones, that's why I'm repeating it. I'm sorry for those of you who didn't who have caught the earlier ones, and I'm repeating, but you know, there was, for years, people have said, oh, I love all your art, and I wish there was a way for me to be able to own more of it. So this is my way of trying to make it possible for people who just really like them and want to get to have multiple pieces. And so, you know, it's kind of fun. You can do something like just then where, you know, we'll just pull one and get a quick message and get a quick download. It's like, oh, that's good. You know, it just gives you something to chew on and ponder. So anyway, so this is what I'm pulling from. And off the top of my head, I'm not even sure which of the 3 decks that card was in. I probably should have checked. But anyway, that's it. That's all I'm going to do today. I know it's an extra short one today, but trust me, it's a miracle I made it on here to say hi with the week that I've had. So anyway, I hope you all are doing well, and just sending hugs and blessings to you, and literally just praying the favor of God. That's what I'm just seeing, is just the radiance of his countenance, the favor of God over each and every one of you. So blessings to each of you. Have a wonderful day and a wonderful weekend. Happy worshiping.